'Cause I wanna be the very best that no one ever was. Hey, where do you go? Oh, this way. Hey guys, welcome back to Diesel Play Talk. Thank you all so much for tuning in to me. And today we are joined by Professor Don Lito and Professor Clive, the mastermind behind all my tests, guys. These guys are the geniuses, and I gotta give credit when it's due, you know. So today, Professor Clive actually gave me a fantastic idea. What he actually told me was that, you know what, Diesel, why don't you test out the effects of movement speed actually with regards to weight, which means to say, if you are heavier, do you actually move slower, and do you actually leap shorter and stuff like that. You know, we all know that when you get, you know, towards the end, maybe about 90% or 80% of the weight, you kind of like tend to get a feeling that you're actually moving slower. How about if you are on like 10% of weight and 20% of weight? So this is what we're gonna do, guys. This is what we're gonna do. You know, after that, I'm gonna go around and catch some Pokemon within Arc. You can't get enough of Pokemon. So we have Darlito. Darlito is gonna cover the C aspect of it, and then we have the Diplo here. It's gonna be the land weight guy, and then we're gonna use the Quetzal also, and then we gotta use the Calamimus because it's a speed dude. Did you guys see how he just turned and looked at me? This dude is freaky. Look at those eyes and face. Yeah. So, all right, we got a Pokeball wannabe down here. No, you don't look good with it. So we're gonna use the Dio, and also finally I've already you know, put some flags over there. As you guys can see, we have already done a few tests before we made this intro, and I'm gonna show you guys the results. And of course the Procoptodon with regards to the leap distance, since he is the best leaping land dino in the game. So without further ado, guys, let's get to the test. The DoD rule. Between 0 to 30% of weight is the first phase of where the time taken increases gradually. Between 30 to 60%, the time taken increases slightly more. 60 to 70% sees another spike, and 70 to 80% sees the major spike. Above 80% of weight, the DoD doesn't roll. Let's start up with the Diplodocus. Between 0 to 60% of its weight, the time taken gradually increases. However, it's not that much. Between 60 to 80%, the time taken increases slightly more. And between 80 to 90%, it's where you will actually see the major spike occur. The Quetzal is slightly similar. Between 0 to 30% of its weight, the time taken doesn't vary that much. Between 30 to 60%, you will see a gradual increment. Between 60 to 80% of its weight, it's where you will see the first major spike, but between 80 to 90%, the spike really increases a lot. By now, you guys can already see a pattern forming up. So how about the sea dinos? How about the Dunkleoth? It's the same, guys. Between 0 to 30%, it's really not that much. Between 30 to 60%, you will see a slight gradual increment, and between 60 to 80%, you will see the first spike, and 80 to 90% once again is where you will see the most amount of time taken. Now comes the interesting buggy dinosaur, the Gallimimus. Between 0 to 10%, the time taken gradually increases, which it should, because the more heavier you are, the more time taken there should be. But between 10% to 20% of weight is where the time taken actually reduces. With more weight on, the dino seems to move faster. And from 20% all the way to 60%, it starts to increase again, and you will actually see the pattern coming up once again between 60% to 80%, and the major spike once again occurring between 80 to 90%. So how do they look if you put them up side by side? From this graph, you can see that between 60 to 70%, the first phase of significant speed reduction comes in. Between 70 to 80%, the speed is reduced even further. However, The major speed reduction occurs between 80 to 90% of weight, which decreases the speed up to 3 times. We're not done yet, guys. How about weight's effect on the lip distance? Let's get to the test right now. So the results. Between 0 to 40% you are able to achieve the maximum lip distance. The first slight decrement in lip distance comes in between 50 to 60%. After that you can see a decrement over at 70% and 80%. The most amount of lip distance decrement comes in at 90% weight. What do you think about the test results, Clive? How about you, Don Lino? Yeah, okay. They were actually saying that the test is so simple that they're bored. But anyway, guys, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this episode, and if you liked the video, remember to smash the subscribe button because I have a whole bunch of other test results coming up in the future episodes. Please remember to leave a like and a comment behind, and till next time, take care and goodbye, guys.